for a while now, Buddy Hield has tried to get a new contract from the Indiana Pacers. They traded him from they obtained him via trade from the Sacramento Kings, and Buddy Hield is one of those very consistent players that can win you or can be the piece that puts you over the top. And that's kind of why, and that's kind of where I want to sit. Because the Indiana Pacers and Buddy Hield both sides obviously aren't able to finalize a deal. So it looks like, reports are coming out saying that they're going to now look to move Buddy Hield. And Buddy Hield and his team is working alongside the Indiana Pacers to find a trade destination for Buddy Hield, seeing as though the Pacers don't want to pay Buddy Hield what he feels he's worth. And I have 5 teams that I think that Buddy Hield could go on and can change the fortune of a team. I'm not saying that they're going to be instant championship caliber teams, but I do think that Buddy Hield on one of these 5 teams can definitely change the outlook of their team. Let's start with a team that, in my opinion, should be obvious, and that is the Chicago Bulls. What Buddy Hield? Okay, let's first talk about what Buddy Hield is. Buddy Hield is a player that is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. I think for a career, he shoots 40%. Last year, he shot 43% from three-point line. People that don't know, that's pretty damn good. Buddy Hield is a sniper from the three-point line. He does take a lot of them, but even still, he takes what? 3 to 8 three-pointers a game. So he is a sniper when it comes to three-point shooting. When you look at the Chicago Bulls, they are the void of three-point shooting. They're so bad at three-point shooting, DeMar DeRozan had to change his game to be more of a three-point shooter. He's still not, but they're not. They're pretty much lone three-point shooter is Zach LaVine, and he even has ebbs and flows through it. I think if you're able to trade for Buddy Hield, he now unlocks a side or an area of the court that you as a team has struggled mightily in, and that, of course, is a three-point line. Because when you look, Alex Caruso isn't knocking down threes at a regular rate. Kobe White isn't knocking down threes at a regular rate. Vucevic, he is one of their better three-point shooters, and he's a center. So I think Buddy Hield would be great for the Chicago Bulls. And I think that, with the loss of Lonzo Ball due to injury, and it looks like he's not, or he has already been confirmed that he's not going to play this season, that now allows it gives the Bulls a three-point shooter or sniper that they have not had. So my first team, and I'm not ranking these teams, but my first team is the Chicago Bulls. Second team is the Milwaukee Bucks. There has been a lot of talk over the last few days about Giannis's future and about how are you able to keep a player as good as Giannis? Your team has to always be in championship contention. Now, yes, having Giannis on your team definitely changed the fortunes of your team, and it allowed you to go from maybe a lottery team to possibly a championship team. But you need it all. You have to have the team. And one thing that the Milwaukee Bucks struggled mightily in last year was half-court offense. I think they were one of, if not the best team when we talk about fast break offense. When you have Giannis running running at you ahead of steam, off a steal, off a miss, the Milwaukee Bucks are one of the best, if not the best team in transition offense. They were one of the worst in half court offense. And that is because they don't really have a reliable three. Their best 3-point shooter is Brook Lopez. I know you have Grayson Allen, but he's inconsistent. Giannis is definitely not good at shooting threes. Jrue Holiday, he's been very inconsistent at shooting threes, even though he's a good player. They don't have that player outside of Chris Middleton, but that is a lot on Chris Middleton to have to be their sole player that can create his own shot and still hit the three. Well, you add Buddy Hield, that takes a lot of the pressure off of Chris Middleton so he can play a lot better. That takes a lot of pressure off of Jrue Holiday so he doesn't really have to worry too much about shooting the ball and being an offensive weapon as far as scoring. And you don't have to worry. You have Giannis just being Giannis. I think that was having Buddy Hield is one of those things for the Bucks, at least. He can change the fortune. Let me say, he can change. I'm not going to say change because I think that this, again, when you have Giannis, you're a championship caliber team. But I think that you go from a championship caliber team to arguably a favorite with Buddy Hield. It depends on who you would have to give up. But I do think that if Buddy Hield goes to the Milwaukee Bucks, they should be, at least in the East, a favorite alongside the Boston Celtics. Another team, a third team, is the Miami Heat. Look here. We all saw what the Miami Heat looked like, or we all saw how good the Miami Heat was this year in the playoffs and making it all the way to the finals. We understand and we saw how good someone like a Caleb Martin was, or someone like a Gabe Vincent was, and, of course, Jimmy Butler. We saw the run that the Miami Heat made and how good they were with the pieces that they have, how good they were in making it all the way to the championship. They obviously didn't win it, but they made it there. But even with us seeing that, what else did we see? We saw where the Miami Heat struggled at mightily, and that is the three-point shot. Spoiler alert, all of these teams have a three-point shooting deficiency somewhere. I said I have 5 teams. Each one of these teams struggles at shooting the three. At least, I'm not going to say some, of course, more than others, but they all struggle with shooting the three. The Miami Heat are one of the worst teams at shooting the ball, shooting the three-point shot, especially wide open. And you add someone like a Buddy Hield. Now, I understand that Victor Oladipo was out, but even at his height, Buddy Hield is a better three-point shooter than Victor. Adding Buddy Hield, to me, that could have been the difference between you winning a championship and just getting there. I know that the Heat won one game in the finals. I'm not saying that Buddy Hield would have put them over the top and they would have beat the Denver Nuggets, but they would have given them a better shot because honestly, again, it was, and I say this every single time I talk about the finals. I talk about this. It wasn't the defense that beat the Miami Heat. It was the fact that they could not keep up offensively with the Denver Nuggets. They couldn't hit shots. They couldn't hit threes. All the magic that Caleb Martin had in the Boston Celtics series just went away. I'm not saying he was trash, but he wasn't good. All the magic that Gabe Vincent had in the Boston Celtics series, he really only had one game, and that's the game that they won. I think that Buddy Hield just it's able to you're able to distribute the shooting and scoring responsibilities more evenly, and you hit a couple of those shots, you may win more than one game in the finals. So I think one team is the Miami Heat. Let's go over to the East. I mean the West. I'm sorry, and let's talk about the obvious one in my opinion. That's the Lakers. As great as the Lakers are, or were last year, making it to the Western Conference Finals, beating the Golden State Warriors in the second round, ultimately losing to the Denver Nuggets, having Anthony Davis, having LeBron James. The biggest problem for this team, and the thing that hurt them outside of course, their defense against Jokic and the Nuggets, was their three-point shooting. They don't have one reliable three-point shooter on this team. No, definitely. Well, they have better three-point shooters now with the offseason. You know, they got Christian Wood. They have players. But even with that, they haven't really addressed their biggest need, which of course is three-point shooting. I mean, I'm looking at this roster now, and the best three-point shooter is probably Gabe Vincent, maybe Austin Reeves, Taurean Prince, who they just got this offseason. What I'm saying is, I'm looking at this roster, and it is devoid of three-point shooting. You add Buddy Hield, that, again, kind of like the Chicago Bulls, that unlocks a part of the floor that you struggle at. And I think that, to me, if they had Buddy Hield, that would be the difference between a championship and not last year. Because it changes the way that now people have to defend you. Because you can just pack the paint or stay within the three-point line, because you don't really have to. Yeah, there are games when Austin Reeves can go off, but those games are less likely than not to happen. It's just and that's, I mean, of course the rumors were Buddy Hield, that they wanted Buddy Hield a while ago, before I think they got Russell Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan. But I think that adding Buddy Hield to this Los Angeles Lakers team is definitely what they would put them over the top, as far as they could be a championship caliber, or they could be a championship favorite in the West if they add Buddy Hield, and that is the Los Angeles Lakers. And the last team is the Dallas Mavericks. You look at the two top players, obviously, on this team, and that is Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. And of course you have a shot when you have those two superior players. But kind of like we talked about in the first part of the show, balance is everything in sports. You have to be balanced. A lot of people talk about the Golden State Warriors championships and Kevin Durant, and I talk about this a lot, but you talk about those Kevin Durant championships. They were one of the best defenses in the league with Kevin Durant. Every single time the Golden State Warriors have won a championship, they've been top 10 in defense. This roster is not good defensively in the slightest. Their best defender is maybe Dwight Powell. They're not good defensively at all. And another thing they're not really good at is three-point shooting, because they really only have three reliable three-point shooters, and that's Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and Seth Curry. Outside of that, Tim Hardaway Jr., he's really up and down. He can catch fire, but again, he's up and down. That might be it. And while, yes, this team does need some height, their tallest player is Derek Lively, and I think that they got him from Duke. He's going to be good. I think that they also need more shooting, and they also need more scoring. And adding Buddy Hield takes a lot of pressure off of Luka Doncic and takes a lot of pressure off of Kyrie Irving. And I'm not saying that they just be championship favorites getting those two or getting Buddy Hield, but I think that it allows them to, again, operate on a floor that they may be hesitant to because they don't have a lot of pieces there. So, again, the 5 teams that I think should definitely at least try to trade for Buddy Hield is the Chicago Bulls, the Miami Heat, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Dallas Mavericks. I think that Fit matters. Obviously, I talk about it ad nauseum on this podcast, and adding the right team, adding someone like Buddy Hield changes the fortunes, or at least the current fortunes of their team. That's just plain and simple. Like another team, I'm not gonna elaborate with, but if Minnesota, who struggles at shooting threes, if they had Buddy Hield, that'd be different. If the Los Angeles Clippers had Buddy Hield, it'd probably be different. It's all just about fit, and adding someone like Buddy Hield can change your outcome for the season. So I'm interested to see where he goes, and I'm interested to see just how the Indiana Pacers look with or without him on the team. Well, we kind of know what they look like, obviously, with him on the team, but with the emergence of Tyrese Halliburton and everything, I'm interested to see how, what happens. So we'll see. Oh man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.